Hello there, cat people. Welcome to episode 27 and season 2 of the Shelter Cats podcast, the labor of feline love. And I'm recording this on Labor Day, so happy Labor Day, even though by the time you hear this, it will be November. And hopefully the weather will be cooler because we're in yet another heat wave. We had a little stretch of beautiful low humidity. There was a breeze. I had the windows open. I had the screen door open. And now we're back to this bloody humidity. And it's going to be in the 90s for the next few days. And I am not happy about it. My cats don't care. They're fine with it. They have their water fountains. I have their cooling blankets. They're the ones that are fine with the fur. I'm the one that's furless and complaining. But anyway, happy Labor Day and welcome to my second season. I decided to renew myself of the Shelter Cats podcast. All about the shelter cats that have made a difference in my life, have saved my life, and hopefully will serve as an inspiration to get you to adopt a shelter cat of your own. Or if you have one, get another one because they do well when they have friends. Adopt, don't shop. Right now, as I'm speaking to you in my Brooklyn, New York, slightly nasal Jewish accent, there is a shelter cat sitting at a shelter, at a rescue, in a foster home, right now, dreaming of going home with you and living their best life as your shelter cat. There is nothing in the world better than feline love, because feline love is unconditional love. And I think we as humans could learn a lot from the unconditional love that cats give us. So adopt, don't shop. And I'm very, very excited about today's guest. She has a cat that has done amazing work as not only the mascot of her YouTube channel, but has also raised so much money as a mascot for a charity called Mercy Ships. But I'm going to let her go into detail. So she has a very, very special cat and an orange cat. And orange cats have a very special place in my heart because I think orange cats are the sweetest cats. So, we have amazing guests lined up for season 2. There'll be a couple episodes where I talk about my cats, and I have a lot more rescues all over the country, and a few international ones I'm hoping to get. And a famous actor, hopefully, will be on the show, and I have a couple of vets that I'm going to be speaking to. So we have some great guests lined up. It's going to be an awesome season 2, and I'm really excited to speak to so many people who have made a difference in the lives of shelter cats. So that means I want to hear from you too. If you run a rescue, if you've done any kind of work that have helped the lives of shelter cats, or if you just happen to own what you think is the best cat in the world, and we all think our cats are the best cats in the world. I just happen to be right. My cats are better, but maybe I'm biased. But anyway, I want to hear from you. So go on the web. I'm at tylerthecat.com. Send me an email, dan@tylerthecat.com. On Facebook, the page is called Shelter Cats. On Twitter, it's Shelter Cats POD, Shelter Cats Pod. On Instagram and TikTok and Threads, it's Shelter Cats Podcast. I have a Medium blog, sheltercats.medium.com. And YouTube is also called Shelter Cats, and I've been doing audio-only YouTubes, which seem to get a couple of listens anyway. And hoping to have more video-centric content this season, as soon as I figure out what I'm doing. So that's how you could reach me, and don't be shy. I want to hear from you because I want to hear everybody's stories about shelter cats. And that's really, really the purpose of this show, is to give a voice to shelter cats, to everyday cats, and the people that have helped get them off the streets and find them homes. So, that being said, today I have Emma from Emma Cruises. Emma is she's a cruise ship writer and blogger, or vlogger, I think is the term. She has an awesome YouTube channel and a website where she does videos reviewing cruise ships and talking about cruise ships and giving tips about cruise ships. How to get the best bang for your buck on cruises and stuff like that. And, I kind of found her channel and binged it over a day, and I've been following her ever since. And she has a cat named Hudson, an orange and white cat who's kind of photobombed her videos. And, he's really cute, and he kind of hangs out sometimes when she does her videos, or she does Q&A videos on YouTube about where she answers people's questions about cruising and cruise ships. And on top of that, her Hudson has, in the form of a stuffed animal version of himself, where she sells, and all the money raised from the sale of stuffed Captain Hudsons go to a charity called Mercy Ships, which I'll let her explain about. That is just such an amazing idea. So not only is he a cute cat, not only is he's in the videos, his likeness she sold thousands of these stuffed Captain Hudsons, and all of that money has raised money for this charity called Mercy Ships. So what a cool idea. So people are posting pictures of Captain Hudson's over here, Captain Hudson's there. Whenever she does videos now, there's a stuffed Captain Hudson that goes with her. So it's just really cool that everywhere you go on cruise ships, you'll see Captain Hudson's. I'm not sure how he got to be a captain. Why isn't he an admiral? I'm going to ask her that. But just really cool. So I'm going to give her a break from talking about cruise ships for the most part. But she agreed to be on the show just to talk about her Captain Hudson, who was a shelter cat. She lives in the UK, I think in London. How just a cat that she adopted in the UK has turned into this awesome cat that has raised money for a needy charity. How cool is that? How cool is that? I got to put these guys to work. So anyway, without further ado, here's my chat with Emma of Emma Cruises. Enjoy.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Welcome
to the show. Thank you so much for doing this.
I say I'm good. I'm all right.
How are you? Yeah, that's how many miles? 35 miles,
35,
I think?
Yeah.
My God. I don't want to drive 35 miles.
No,
so.
And I think I was prepared for the distance, but the fact you have to carry like a big backpack with like 2 liters of water in it and snacks and a thing in case it rains, it was sort of, yeah. But it was all right. I felt good when I finished it. It was when I got home and then I was like, I cannot get up the stairs now.
Yeah, that it all hit you. Just so everyone knows, you did a walk for Alzheimer's just 2 days ago, right?
I did, yes. And thinking about it, I know we're going to talk more about my Captain Hudson that I made for charity. That is so much easier than this walk. Like, I'm going to carry on with that. And I don't know that I'll ever do the walk again. I'm glad I did it, but it's going to take me a few months, I think, for my feet to heal.
Oh my God! Wow. Yeah. So, first of all, thank you so much. You're going to get a break from talking about ships for this interview.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So just so you know how I discovered you.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Peter Canego has a website called Midship Century. He sells old fittings from old cruise ships.
Okay, cool.
Is the first Love Boat or
oh, nice.
The early Carnival ships. So he started like a companion YouTube channel, and I run his Instagram, where he went on a lot more trips in the 80s and 90s. So his footage is 80s and 90s, 480p quality, but
yeah. Cool.
He does like modern voiceover. So watching his videos to do Instagram posts, the YouTube algorithm said, hey, you might like you might like this one, you might like that one. And then I started I binged your videos, I think on a Sunday, a rainy Sunday.
Oh, thanks.
I just let it play all day as I was doing stuff. And I got a kick out of your kind of down to earth British isms, I guess.
Thanks.
And we share a love of cookies. and I have Diet Coke with breakfast.
Nice.
And then all of a sudden I started noticing, wait a minute, she's got a cat too.
Uh-huh.
And he's an orange cat, and one of my first cats was orange, so I have a soft spot for orange cats.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I backed into kind of getting you on my podcast about cats.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So my listeners are doing cat rescue and stuff like that. So just to start, could you kind of tell people what you do?
Mm-hmm. So as you've mentioned quite nicely there, I make content about cruise ships. So that'll be river cruising, ocean cruises, ferries, basically anything you can spend a night on the water, then I will do that. Big American cruise lines, small Italian cruise lines, anything. And it's kind of, I share stories of the trips I go on, partly for people who want to do them, but also people who are just curious about this. It's a massive world, the cruising world. And I just want to share it because I think it's so much fun.
And that's your full-time?
It is now, yes. Yes, I left my normal job in 2021. I was planning on doing it in 2020, but for some reason I couldn't leave the insurance industry for the cruise industry in 2020. That wasn't a good idea. So I held on, and 2021 I left. So yeah, now this is my full-time thing.
That's amazing. I'm if I could do cat podcasting full-time, I would, but that's not in the cards yet.
Well, it was never on the cards for me. It was never my plan. Not at all. It just, I just kept at it for many, many years, and here we are.
That's wonderful. So, but this is about cats.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying not to ask you too many questions about ships, but I may fail. So how long have you had Hudson?
So I've had Hudson, I think, about 5 years. He's a rescue cat, and he sort of started appearing in YouTube videos, live streams and stuff, and people started saying I was a very cute cat, and everyone started calling him the captain. So they would say, "Where's the captain today?" And I sort of trained him that he would get treats if he came in a live stream. So now if he sees me set up my lights on my camera, he's straight away here. He's very smart, I think, but around 5 years.
You bribed him to be on the videos. Oh, I thought he was being cute. I didn't realize he had an incentive. That's pretty cool.
It wasn't a conscious plan, but I think subconsciously, because now when I put the lights out, even if I'm not ready, sometimes days in advance, he'll sit on the chair and be like, "I'm ready."
That's where are the people? I have to answer questions. That's awesome.
Exactly. He has no idea.
And where did you get him?
So he's from a charity called Cats Protection in the UK. I saw a poster for him when I was on my lunch break for my day job, and it said "Home Wanted," and it had the sweetest little picture of his orange and white face. And I thought, that is the cutest cat. I had to just go on a cruise when I saw the poster, of course, but he was there when I got back, so I felt like it was fate. And
absolutely, it was meant to be.
Him. So yeah, not really too sure where he came from. I think it was a couple that broke up or something, and for somehow, I don't know, no one wanted him, which is absolutely crazy because he's adorable. But lucky for me.
And he's orange cats. I have a second one who's also a rescue.
Yeah.
And they are the sweetest, like kind-natured cats. Yeah. Like very unassuming, not very like alpha cats, and not very bossy. I mean, Hudson may be an exception. Because he definitely, when he kind of like photobombs your live streams. It's definitely a highlight.
Yeah.
So the big question is, how often are you away, and who watches him?
Well, quite a lot of the time I leave my boyfriend here at home, so he looks after the cat. And Hudson doesn't mind if my other half stays with him. He doesn't even notice that I've gone. If not, Hudson stays put and the world kind of revolves around him because I don't want to send him somewhere. I think he would feel as though he was being adopted off again. So He stays put. He knows where he lives. Here cats can just wander in and out, and he goes to the toilet. He has his food, and the humans rotate. So I don't know if he really even minds who the humans are. But I try and convince myself he misses me, but I'm not. I haven't seen evidence of it.
You come home and you're like, "Oh, you're back." Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. No, I don't think he does. But when I saw the poster that said he wanted like a quiet home by himself, here he's in charge of everything. He's got everything he wanted on that poster, I think, and he's got a pretty chilled out life, so he's doing good.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm glad that when you're away, he gets to be he gets to stay put.
Yes.
What is actually the policy? This is going to be a ship kind of question.
Uh-huh.
Can you take a
Well,
a cat on a cruise ship?
there's
I don't
only
even know.
really there's one cruise line that you can called Cunard, but that's very much a like, oh, if you were relocating to the US, you may take your cat. It's not like the cat's gonna have particularly a lot of fun. It would be like being in the kennels. It's not in your room because imagine trying to keep a cat like off the balcony. It'd be disaster.
Yeah, you'd have to get one. I guess a cabin without a balcony. Yeah,
Yeah,
mine would be like, I got to swim in that. Can you
exactly. Yeah.
stop this ship? I got to jump in that and catch a
Imagine
fish.
the noise as well. The cat's trying to talk to the other. Oh, it would be disaster. But yeah, you can if you are taking a Cunard cruise, they have kennels for cats and dogs and stuff. But it's more of a mode of transport. I don't think cats particularly like it. There is one cat who lives on a cruise ship because he's the cat of the captain. Um, so that's a bit different. Is his own little life jacket and everything. Very sweet, but that's not normal if you're just a passenger.
So just taking them with you for a vacation, just not something you'd recommend. And
No, I mean,
I
I
agree with
would
that.
never want to anyway. Like this, when you take a cat to the vet in the car and they make the saddest noises that you've ever heard, and that's just like a 10-minute drive to the vet. So the thought of taking him for days, oh my god, yeah, no, he can stay put. He's perfectly happy.
He prefers.
I think so.
You could video chat with him while you're away, I guess.
Exactly. I do have cat cameras set up everywhere. I spy on him all the time.
And he probably knows that you're doing that.
Probably.
Yeah, one of my cats actually needs to be tranquilized to go to the vet. So believe me,
Yeah.
and he looks at me like, I know what you're doing. It's not happening.
No, it's so stressful. I don't like it, but worth it.
But yeah, totally worth it. So, and then he's become an important part of your YouTubes, and then the Mercy Ships charity. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun if people could have their own version of this cat, right? And I had no idea how you could do that, but I found a company where you could make your own sort of soft, plushy, small toys, and you had to make an order of 300. And I was like, that's a bit optimistic, right? Let's think of a way we can sell 300 of these. And I thought, I'll do it for charity. That's fantastic. Maybe we'll get to 300 then. If not, they just won't get made. It was kind of like a when there's like a fundraiser and you have to reach a certain amount for them to be made.
Right.
I came across Mercy Ships years ago, I think on a podcast, and I thought, let's give it a go. Very nervous that we would make the 300, and we sold 1,300 of the first batch. So, yes. And then we've done the second batch now. We sold 1,800, and I'm waiting for the third batch. But in total, in US dollars, I think it's about 36,000 US dollars we've raised for Mercy Ships, which is just mind blowing to me. But it's amazing. So cool.
And what is Mercy Ships?
So they have hospital ships. So it's their own ships. They're fitted out with operating rooms, wards. Everyone who's on there is a volunteer, and they go to different countries and provide the sort of surgeries that we would sort of take for granted here, like cataract surgeries and things that make a big difference to people, not necessarily that expensive, but that people don't have access to. So they are in Sierra Leone, I think is the next place that they're going to, and they sail, they stop there for maybe 6 months, do the surgeries, they train people in the local place so that they hopefully improve the healthcare as well. And everyone is a volunteer, like the chefs, the cleaners, the reception. They have a little school on board. It is amazing.
That's awesome. And so you've sold 2,800 of these. I want to get I saw the new one is going to be formally dressed. I'm going to get that one.
I think so, yeah.
But I have to hide them. I have 5 in my home. I have to hide them up on a shelf because he won't last long if
I understand. Yes.
My oldest loves to destroy toys, and he'd be like, is that for me? Can I have that?
A new toy? No.
It's like, this is for charity. I wouldn't put that on your page. My cat destroyed.
No, some of them have. Some of them have. I get emails. One of them got taken away by a crow, so that was a sad story.
A crow.
Yeah, they said they put him down to take a picture of him because a lot of people share pictures. They take him on cruises. They share pictures of him. Like he's found cookies. He's in the soup, like going swimming. And someone took a picture of him, but a crow took him away. So I like to think he took him to the crow family and he's living a nice new life there. We don't know what happened, but some of them yeah, some of them have been dog chew toys and stuff, but it's for charity.
It's for charity. And then that dog will get the pleasure of the toy,
Yeah,
not
everyone
real,
wins.
not realizing what they've done. That's just amazing. That
It's
and
crazy.
and that's the whole point of my show. Just a regular cat, a regular
Mm,
rescue cat that has turned out to raise these thousands of dollars and whatever that works out to in your money
yeah,
for for this awesome charity. And what an awesome charity that is.
yeah.
I love stories like that.
It is crazy. I do think, I don't think the people who, I adopted him from, I don't think they have any idea that Hudson has done this. So I might send them a message and send them a link to a Mercy Ships page that says Captain Hudson's saved. I can't remember what it was, but it has all the things of like what they can do with the money, like run the operating theatre for a month, or they treat, like, I think it said we can treat 17 children with burns or something. Like, it's amazing what they do. So he's a very powerful little cat and he has no idea.
He's no idea.
And we're not
And
stopping either. Like, as you say, I think the next one's going to be a formal night version. I'm trying to keep them all slightly different. So that the base model, I'll try and describe him, but he's a ginger cat with a captain's hat that says Hudson on it. That's the base model. The second one has a little life jacket because people started buying life jackets for the cat.
that's great.
I think there was, Elf on the Shelf. You can buy little accessories for
Yep.
the elves. I think that's what it was. People were buying the life jacket. So I thought, we'll make a second one with a life jacket. That's sort of the safety Hudson. And then the third one, most cruises have some sort of formal night, some sort of chance to dress up. So we're going to have a little bow tie and a shirt, I think, for the next one. And then after that, version 4, I don't know. I think we're going to have to do a beach version at some point with a little Hawaiian shirt, but we can carry on forever, I think.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless,
Yeah.
and they're just so popular. And
He could have
and,
different jobs and stuff, couldn't he? Or destination specific ones. Even cruise lines, he could have little uniforms and stuff, Yeah, who knows where this will go, but
yeah,
it's fun.
I have friends in Hollywood. I have a friend who does animation. We can go crazy
Exactly.
with this and
Yeah,
have
we'll catch up in like a year or something, and we'll see if there's TV show and stuff. I don't know.
Hudson the series.
Yeah, and he's British, of course, so he can teach people little British phrases, and people, like, I could just imagine a little kid being like, "Where did you learn that?" Oh, Hudson.
The Britishisms. I on my own Facebook, I got into a, I don't know, argument, but just
Oh,
all
right.
I posted was, why do you guys say aluminium?
Oh, yes.
And all my British friends went off on me like,
Well,
we're saying it right and you're not. So
I, I've done a lot of research into these things, and normally when you research it and you think, normally people assume that the British way is the way and the Americans changed it. It almost never is. It normally is, we used to say it the same way you say it, and then for some reason we changed it in like 90% of situations, and you just didn't want to copy us back. That seems to be the way it is.
it sounds better with the British mannerisms.
Do you think?
I'm from Brooklyn, so that's my opinion.
I'm more aware of it now. I mean, I never planned on sort of teaching people British phrases, but I would just say things and people would say, "Oh, that's so funny, you made that up." I didn't make that up. That's like a very common thing here. So I started to sort of explain just some round things I say.
Nah, love them. And any thoughts of getting Hudson a friend?
Well, I think about it every single day, but I don't think he's very I don't know. I think he's quite happy on his own, and he seems to get in fights quite often, and I don't want to just bring one into my house to fight. But I was thinking, because I was in Greece recently, and they have lots of stray cats in Greece, and there was a tiny little ginger and white kitten that came and sat next to me, like to hide behind me. I was thinking, this would be so sweet if I could take this tiny version of Hudson back, and Hudson would maybe not fight him because he's so small. But yeah, I think about it every day, but I think he's king of the castle, and I think if I try to bring anyone else in, no.
Yeah, most of my rescue people would say when he gets older, if he's only 5 or 6, he might take to a kid.
9 or 10. I think he was around 5 when we got him, but he, like, right now he has a big scratch on his head. He has a bite mark on him. I'm like,
Oh no.
But he's a big boy as well. I used to have a very small tortoiseshell girl cat, and then I went from her to this big ginger. They're the absolute opposite in terms of cat. So if I saw any evidence that he wanted friends with other cats or neighbors' cats, then maybe, but I'm not sure.
Given that, I think you're right. I think he might be happy just being
Yeah.
being on his own. I don't think he knows he's a cat. I think that
No,
might be
well,
the
I
problem.
don't. He's not lonely. I mean, all the other houses around here have cats. I see him in the garden with them and stuff. So they just can't come in the house. That's the only thing. But yeah, he's not. He's definitely not bored or anything. So I think he's all right.
No, he's got a better life than I do. I think it's
Yeah, I mean, I
awesome.
would love it. I would have 5, 6 cats if I had my way. But Hudson is in charge, so
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, I so many questions about ships. The most recent video, was it called Azamara? The kind of yacht.
yeah,
Am I saying it
Azura.
right?
It was called
Azura.
Azura. Yeah, so that was
Peter,
very different for me.
that one. Peter was on that last year, actually, my friend.
Yeah,
But
very nice.
the Hudson poses in that video where
Yes.
he's like tell just go into that, because that was that
Yeah.
was the best.
So normally I cruise on sort of the big budget cruise lines, the mainstream cruise lines. Everyone's very busy, of course, the crew are. But my last cruise I took on a yacht, and on a yacht there's a lot more crew, of course, and they had the time to every single day create Captain Hudson a new scenario in my room. So I started it, I think, by sort of just putting him in the bed, because I always just put him somewhere, and I came back every day and he would be literally, he's made a little den, and he's got a book, and he's got a friend, and he has a candle, or he's having afternoon tea, and they actually cut down like the small straws for him and made him like a teapot, and he was doing all kinds of weird things. But I looked forward to that every day, tried to make my own versions back, and then I came back on the last day of the cruise, and he was sat on my bed with all these tissues around him because he was crying, so it was the last day of the cruise, and all of these pictures that had been printed out of him in the bridge with the captain, him in the kitchen with the chefs, him having a massage in the spa, and I had no idea he'd even left my room. But he had this whole cruise, which, as you say, that's better life than most people, this cat.
That's so
it was so funny.
they took pictures of him in other parts of the yacht.
Yeah, so I
That's
can only think
that's dedication.
I had some excursions included, so they must have known, oh, Emma's off and Hudson's still here, let's take a picture of him. But yeah, he would be in the bar. Like, I had no idea that all the crew had seen this cat and taken pictures with him. But yeah, it looked like he had a great time. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Above and beyond, I think, that one.
See, a cat-centric cruise would be where they're all in little life jackets, so they're safe on leashes, would be such an awesome, it'll never happen, but these are the things I think about when I'm planning podcast episodes, is how awesome would that be?
That would. I can't imagine how you would get insurance for the cats.
Yeah, and mine would look at me like I'm not leaving the house ever. Why would you even go on a ship with people? No, thank you. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Mine have no interest. You know?
Try new things.
No, mine are indoor only, and they look at the door like I'm happy where I am, thank you.
Oh, really? Oh no, Hudson he caught a bird for us this morning. Thanks, Hudson. It was thankfully it was completely dead. I don't mind if it's completely dead, or I don't even mind if it's alive if it can leave, but I don't want anything in between. That's
yeah. No, I understand. That's he thinks he has to pay the rent a little bit, I think.
He does, but he does not. he pays his rent, trust me. But by becoming my channel's mascot, he's doing his work. He just doesn't know it.
That's great. He's an awesome cat. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's been fun.
For joining the show. When you're in New York next, go find a diner. And try a diner cookie.
Okay.
That is my cookie recommendation. The New York diners. I don't know what the equivalent would be in the UK, but just if you have a few minutes, go find a diner and ask for a diner cookie. They are the size of plates.
That sounds amazing. That sounds good. I've never done that.
They're usually wrapped in plastic, and one will last you a day and a half. But the cookies look great. I've had a cookie problem my whole life. The cookies on the ship look great. They're wonderful. But if you ever sail from New York again, and I'm sure you will, take a cab. Just say diner. There are diners in Manhattan, and just go get a diner cookie. It will blow your mind.
Okay, I had no idea that that's where I would find a cookie. I've never thought to look there, so that's good to know.
They're twice the size. They're very good. It'll last you the whole cruise. That is my cookie. There's my cookie tip for you.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being on the show, and long live Captain Hudson.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Dan the Catman here again. How awesome was that? I always feel like I don't ask enough questions about the cat, but Hudson is just a very special cat. He's a rescue cat. You know, you heard the story. He had a home of some sort, and then needed a new home, and Emma found Hudson, and Hudson is living his best life. You hear that phrase often, you know, I'm living my best life. But Hudson actually is living his best life. He's got a good home. He's got a great owner, and he's become the mascot for her YouTube channel. And how many cats could say they have a stuffed plush version of themselves that A exists, B has sold thousands of versions, and C has raised money for an awesome charity that I otherwise wouldn't have heard of, that does these amazing things. Just very cool. Very cool. I still think a cat-centric cruise on a ship without balconies that's safe would be a cool idea. Could you imagine if this could be done safely? A cat sitting, watching the world go by from the window of a cruise ship. That's just a cool idea that will never happen. And many of you probably think that I've gone off my rocker a little bit. But don't take your cats on cruises. Don't take your cats on planes. And I think the same goes for dogs too. Just don't do it. But it would be a cool idea if it could be done safely. But in actuality, don't take your pets on planes or ships. Just don't. Just don't. I should probably do an episode on traveling with pets, but just don't do it. Or drive. If you have to travel with your pet, drive or take a train or something. But that being said, Emma's channel is called Emma Cruises. It's on YouTube. She's got Facebook. She's got all the usual social media. But go on her YouTube channel. It's called Emma Cruises. Her videos are really, really awesome. I get a big kick out of them. And I guarantee you, if you watch her videos, you will eventually see Captain Hudson. And, on her YouTube, you'll be able to find a link to order your own Captain Hudson. Because she definitely talks about that a lot, because it's a very good cause. So thank you, Emma. Thank you, Hudson, for joining the show. And that was just a great conversation. So have a great week. Say hi to your cats for me. Pet your cats on the head for me. Give them lots of treats and keep them safe. Adopt, don't shop. And we'll see you next week. Take care.